Yeah, that's I practice. He doesn't know that. What up, though? What's going on, my man?
Oh, just living that dream, doing what we do.
Bro, I say that shit all the time, living that dream. And people are like, oh, man, it's a nightmare for me. And I'm just thinking, change your life.
Yo, yeah, if what you're doing right now is a nightmare, change your life.
Bro, that's the weirdest thing. Yeah, right?
Comment below, let us know where you're at. What's your nightmare? But also, nightmares are still dreams. It's just a fucked up dream,
Yo, 100% though. I was talking to one of my doctors. I got a whole bunch, terrible health, and I was talking exactly about that because I pretty much don't sleep like regular humans do at this point, and I was talking to them about how I remember like 1 to 2 dreams per year, and they just like dead stopped and looked at me, and I was like, yeah, because I never sleep, not in a notable way, it's extensive napping.
Right.
They're like, oh, so you just don't remember your dreams? I was like, well, I don't think I have them, and I've only had one nightmare. And she just
That's not bad.
she just gave me this weirdest look. Yeah, I've had one nightmare in my entire life. I was like 13.
Nice.
Yeah. It wasn't even like, bro, I'll tell you honestly, it's not even that impressive. I just remember it. Okay. There was like this kind of brunette, kind of redhead, like kind of brownish, kind of red hair, right? And she's got a trench coat or something. It was almost like April O'Neil from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And she's walking away from me. And like all of a sudden she turns around and she's got like this trench coat and she opens it up and totally naked, except she's got like little ant pincers where her nipples should be.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't even think that's a nightmare. That's just like, honestly, nowadays, that's a fucking fetish.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like, that seems like some weird sexual shit.
Oh yeah, people pay $10 a month to watch that.
Dude, for real though, like Google it right now. I guarantee there's some shit out there.
I am not Googling that. I have done this with AJ, and I do not want to do that anymore.
Come on.
No,
don't want to Google it, man.
Yeah, freaks. Put it down in the...
Oh, they're out there.
And it's so weird because, like, the image I have for the thumbnail for this one, we're all, like, anthropomorphic animals. You are a corgi dressed in, like, a 90s bombastic suit and tie. Like your Uncle Sam trying to recruit somebody.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, and honestly, those are the kind of people that would be into this.
Yeah, for real, though. Dude, and then, hey, again, throw it up down in the comments. What's your fetish?
Jesus, but don't be too freaky. We are going to block you.
Pincer thing?
Oh,
yeah, we're not going to Google most of it.
Yeah, yeah, I'll Google it offline, get kind of gross, and then block half of the comments. But please do go ahead, leave them.
Please let them up there, you know what I mean?
Goddamn filth. Yeah, speaking of, oh man, I had to deal with the general public the other day. As part of the job. I'm still like wiping myself. Oh my goodness, I can't believe that like America has gotten pretty gross all of a sudden.
I mean, all of a sudden?
I mean, it feels like it. I guess it's exposure because I spend so much time all by myself in a little apartment, right?
Yeah, that's in an office building, cubicle setting.
With like, pretty good off folk. I'm one of the like bottom 50% of the people in like my office building, and I make pretty good money working for the government.
Isn't that fucked up to say?
Oh, dude, I was outside having a smoke break. Fucking A, dude. My doctor suggested that I stop vaping and switch back to cigarettes.
You know what? It's fucked up, but like...
I'm not fucking kidding. Yeah, I 2 doctors. My pulmonologist, my lung doctor, and my, general practitioner. Dude, 2 different doctors had suggested that I don't vape and that I just go back to smoking.
Dude, for real, though? I think it's safer, and that's weird to say because they're both fucked up and can fuck you up and kill you, whatever.
I mean, I started smoking when I was 17. I'm 37 now, and if you average it out, I smoke about 30 cigarettes a day. If you average it out. Okay? Heavy fucking emphasis, Richie. So,
yeah, this is true.
When I worked at the mine,
it was like 2-3 packs a day.
Where are we now? We're 5 minutes in. They'll never fucking scrub this. Hashtag didn't do this down below. So I used to smoke about an ounce a week on the job and 2 to 3 packs a day when I was working at the sand mine, because I drove a dump truck all day long in private property. There were like 6 other people in a 1 mile by 1 mile radius, right? So like, I had all the world to like fuck around. I had a very small job to do, and I would just smoke heavily all goddamn day. You know, just listening to music off of my iPod, because this was 2007, right?
Yeah.
So like regular iPod. Like just an iPod. They didn't have other versions. And I was just driving around listening to my 1 gig of music over and over and over, just smoking as heavily as I could, constantly. And everybody I worked with smoked. It's cigarettes. They didn't know that I had a paper plate full of weed in my passenger seat. But like, that was just the thing. And honestly, I did not have as much breathing problems as I did when I tried to wean off of cigarettes to go to vaping.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, 100%. I will say, though, hitting that weed pen, Mr. Benjamin, when he shows up, good God, the party changes.
See, I feel different about the Benjamin than most other people do, it seems, because don't get me wrong, we enjoy it. I've got one right here, you know?
It's efficacy. That's the problem. It's too effective. Like, I take 1 hit. Okay, I can smoke a bong before I go to work and be on point, right? Realistically, a bong pack for me is 2 hits. Like, I'm practiced. Okay. I'm trained. It's not a big head, right? If I take 1 hit off of Mr. Benjamin, if we dab one time, cashed out. Like, that ruins everything from 7 to noon.
They just don't affect me like that anymore. Like, there was a time, don't get me wrong, and I'd be fucking whacked out on the pen, you know, in my office or whatever, and just be like, I'm gonna shut the blinds here and go chill out on some YouTube for a while. And, you know, cool, all that, but they just, I don't know, man, like I said, I've got one here, you know, that's dispensary, so it's potent as fuck. I prefer my flower. It hits me differently. It hits me the way I want it to hit me. The Benjamin's like, yeah, okay. But like the flower, I'm like, yeah, all right. That's what I'm talking about right there.
Well, so to that point though, I mean, smokers unite and all that shit, but there's something about all of the other chemicals in the natural plant itself, in the flower. And I really do believe in like the entourage effect. That there's all these small chemicals, you know, cannabinol, cannabinoids, you've got your lemonol, and all these different little things that when you put it together, it's like a stew. I mean, legitimately, yeah. I mean, we've been over at Grandpa's house back in the day, and he's been cooking up a soup for like 36 hours. He's got a whole list of shit, 2 pages in a notebook written in Ukrainian. And it's like, all of this stuff together is what makes it special, something unique. And when you hit the pen, there's like 3 things in there and some glycol.
Yeah, you know, and especially if it's not necessarily a dispensary pen, there might be a little bit more, but it's not good stuff. But yeah, like when you get the shit from a dispensary, you know, you get your jar of weed, and it's got the breakdown of, you know, you're like, oh, it's got THC this, THC that, blah blah blah. It's like, well, there's 8 different things listed here. I thought I was just smoking weed with THC. It's like, yeah, jackass, you are, but you know, there's, you know, THC fucking whatever. Hey, you know.
Well, I mean, there's THC-A, THC-C. You've got a whole bunch of cannabinoids. Oh, honestly, I got a fucking ounce the other day. Apparently, and I've done this twice, I hit the limit at my dispensary. Yeah.
I missed you right there.
So I hit the limit at my dispensary.
Okay.
I asked for, I was like, hey, you got a sale if I buy a whole ounce at a time. That ain't bad. I think it was $2.40 out the door for an ounce.
Not bad.
Which, honestly, that's not too freaking bad for where I live. Hashtag legalism. And I was like, oh, throw a pen in there, too. I want to get one of those cartridges. She puts it on, she scans it, and she goes, hold on a second. She went and she got another worker. She comes back and she goes, yeah, we can't sell you all of this at once. Apparently, that's too much.
Yeah. You don't have your card, right? This is just
no. I'm just a dude.
Yeah, so so you have like what? Like a 2.5 ounce limit a month or something?
No,
like
it's an ounce a day.
An ounce a day? You bought something else and you couldn't buy the fucking bag? That's
yeah. I couldn't get 1 gram cartridge. I couldn't get anything after I was like, hey, let me get that ounce of flour. Anything else. I couldn't buy a soda, anything else that had a psychoactive effect.
Here, I'm going to tell you a quick little piece of information in case y'all didn't notice. But an ounce a day, that's a lot of weed.
Dude, an ounce, 28 grams. And don't get me wrong. So I buy small buds, right? Popcorn. That is some, it's not shake by any fucking means, but it's that smaller stuff. It doesn't have that bag appeal. What is appealing, though, is it's $240 for a fucking medical ounce, and there's not much stem.
Right, and the stems that are there are nothing.
Oh, dude, I just grind that shit up. Realistically, like, you're getting a better deal with this kind of stuff than you are with, like, the big impressive, oh, dude, this shit's bigger than my cock. Yeah, you're white. I get it. But, okay, I've got a 70-inch stem here. Yeah, I also bet, because I've grown pounds of weed at this point. I live in a legal state, so I can certainly admit to it. Having grown pounds of weed, one of the things I've realized is that those large, impressive buds are mostly stem and structure. It's infrastructure. Just like most big cities. Most big cities are actually roads.
True.
Yeah, so when you factor the same kind of thing into a plant growth, it's like, oh, this isn't impressive. What is impressive is all the houses. So that's what this fucking jar is. It's small buds. It's all the shit you smoke.
Dude, honestly, like, I would go and I would get the freaking ounce of, what the hell is it? Pre-ground or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
And because, just like you said, you know what I mean? Like, just going to grind the fucking stems up anyway. And, that the pre-ground shit it's not the impressive buds and all that crap. It's all the little popcorn buds and the shake and all that crap ground up into one. Dude, I can't tell you how many times I'd buy that, and it's like half the price of a regular ounce, right? And you're like, and it's already ready to go. I can just reach in and smoke it fucking dope. Dude, so many times have I got the biggest chunk of grinder hash out of that fucking thing. Because
my God,
all they're
dude.
doing is throwing in weed and grinding.
That's like the whole issue is like once a month, every other month, I use that $5 Dollar General, Saturday special alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol. It's the only way I can clean my fucking grinder.
Yeah, for sure. Because the 90% fucking
91% isopropyl alcohol. It's like $3, and like, honestly, dude, I have some in a spray bottle, and it is one of the best cleaners in the entire.
So I have actually, it should be right here in my my center console, because I'm obviously in and having a lot of jobs.
I use it as a little flamethrower. I light up. Take a little lighter out. Fuck off.
Yeah, creates like a good time. Be careful. We're not professionals. We're just doing fucked up shit.
And honestly, it works really good as a window defroster. If you spray it on the outside, no kidding, like not fucking around, alcohol, because of the nature of alcohol itself, it holds temperature differently than other things we're used to that stay liquid, and that's why alcohol doesn't freeze in your freezer. You can spray it on your windshield, and it works better than the antifreeze shit.
Yeah,
like your window wiper fluid. It just straight up flammable as fuck. So don't fuck around too hard.
Don't go too crazy with it.
But if you do, record it. Record and send to the email.
Record it. Put that shit on the internet for sure.
Hashtag TikTok.
So I go down the dollar aisle at the Dollar General, you know what I mean, with the little toiletries and shit.
Yeah, feel
and
it.
because I'm in and out of job sites and stuff all the time. So then, like, I cut myself on one of the tiles this past weekend from one of the job sites, you know. So, no problem, no big deal. Got my little first aid kit, which, you know, includes this American Red Cross 50% isopropyl rubbing alcohol spray bottle for $1. You know what I mean? It's already pre-diluted. It's not going to go crazy. It's not 91%, but I throw a little.
No, but you mix that in a white Monster, and you're fucking golden.
You're golden.
No, I am screwing with you. Don't hashtag don't do this.
Don't do it, man. But also, you know.
I mean, just saying.
Like,
yeah.
I can spray this on a wound, you know, cut myself on a tile. I can spray it on, oh shit, got a drip of paint on this, just spray it real quick. For $1, you know, you should always have some alcohol. Always.
I mean, realistically, it is safe, especially because hashtag don't fuck around. Yeah, we've been in some of those spots where it's, you know, I would just rather a little bit of alcohol right here.
Yeah, yep, for sure. Yeah, always good to have that, and my Marines out there, a packet of lemon juice. Keep that shit in.
Oh, all right. Shit, if I know, I wasn't in the military. I never would have made it. Honestly.
Yeah, no, cool.
Well, I still don't have a good control over my psychiatric meds. So, realistically, there's no way that being off of everything is going to be the fucking answer. If anything, don't get me wrong, I've been dialing it back more and more over the last couple of years, with some of the most recent weeks being the most incredibly sober. Feeling empowered, honestly, full of juice. Not just cranberry, but regular power, you know?
Also some real power.
Yeah, it might just be a UTI, but god damn that hit. But there is just something. I couldn't do it every day, honestly. I don't know how people in the military could. Wake up every day, do what boss man tells you in a certain way, and it's all aspects of the life. I don't know.
It's to do life, you know, or, you know, to get to a retirement point in the military, you definitely have to really love it. You know, I should have stayed in, for sure. You know, I would have retired last year, so it'd be fine. But, you know, hindsight, it's always 20/20 or better. But to stay in, you really got to love it, you know? And to put in your 20 plus, 24, 26 years, you know, and wear those first sergeant major stripes, or, you know, your O series, you know, your big officers, you know, nobody's really going to get to 010, you know, that's never, but 09, you know, your 07s, 08s, shit like that. And you really got to, like, love it, like, a lot. Because you're putting in over 20, you know, everyone's like, 20 years, and be like, I was enlisted, I was an officer, so I would have retired after 20 for sure. But, like, dude, the dude 25, 26, 27 years, holy shit.
At how early you are in your life at that point, you know, very early 20s. You would not, most people, I think, in general, myself included, 100%, mostly talking about myself, you fucks too, but in my early 20s, I had no idea about putting money away.
Yeah, nobody really,
no,
you know what I mean?
Like, I got a coworker, she's turning 23 in like 6 months, and me and another coworker talked to her, and he's like 5 years younger than me, but he gets it. And what I'm seeing about like compound interest and just putting money away, he sees that, and we're trying to convince her that, like, hey, if you do this legitimately, by the time you're like 50, you can just like say fuck all to everything, because she's turning 23 in 6 months. Holy shit, 27 and a half years. Like, working at a state job in your early 20s, like, imagine if I didn't fuck all my last, 10 years up with girlfriends and wives.
Yeah, dude. I think back, it's like, man, because I did work for the state in my early 20s, and man, if I had just stayed with it, that would have been, because even the retirement packages that the state gets nowadays is nothing, you know what I mean?
Sadly, I'm going to have to retire at 60% of my final salary.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah, but you know what number sounds terrible?
0.
16%. 16%. Do you know why?
Nothing. That was.
Do you know why 16 sounds terrible?
Why 16 though?
Because it used to be 70.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Oh no! I thought you said 16. 1-6.
Yeah, well, you said 16%.
No, 60. Yeah, when I retire, I get a benefits package of 60% of my final year.
Oh, yeah. See, I thought you said 16. What you put in.
No. Well, so like that's one of the weird things is like they don't expect you to end up making much hourly by the end of it. Like your annual isn't going to be a very high number. So like their payout of 60%, 60 of your final year of salary, your final year of pay after you qualify for retirement usually isn't much. Right? Like it's not negligible, but it's not a whole hell of a lot.
Yeah.
Whereas the amount that I end up making by being smart with my retirement strategy is factors better. Fucking factors better.
Because they used to do, it was 70% of your best 3 years with unlimited overtime.
So with us, our overtime, I hit this already. I get regular pay when I hit overtime hours.
Oh, because you have it put into time off, right?
No, that's just how it works now. Because I make so much as an hourly wage, they do not pay me time and a half for my overtime anymore.
I thought. So that's how it used to be, wasn't it? Though.
Yeah.
Where you had the option.
Yeah, that's how it was up until this recent when I changed positions 6 months ago, 7 months ago. That was fine line shit, but I don't get overtime in general. I don't work overtime.
Yeah, right.
So the only time that I will work overtime going forward is for conferences. So like I'm going to a giant government conference. Most agencies in the country are going to meet up, and I'm getting flown out, staying in a hotel, doing all that shit. But they're paying me hourly wage for my overtime when I'm flying to Atlanta. So like, okay, cool. You know, you're paying me solid wage. It's not ridiculous, but it's already way too much. Like it definitely evens out. But the biggest thing is to put it away. Like that's every time I get a raise, I try to live as low means as possible. Like I get takeout every 2 weeks. Like that, I don't want to splurge more than that because at this point I can put so much money away and not notice raises, not see the increase in income, and just be richer when I'm retiring. Just have 7 figures instead of 6.
Right.
Like, don't get me wrong, it would be really cool to have $750,000 when I retire at 55. You know what would be cooler? To have more fucking money and retire earlier.
Well, that would be way cooler for sure.
Yeah, can't retire earlier because I don't have more fucking money. So, just have more fucking money and retire at the same time.
And just retire at the same time. Yeah, dude. That's the way to be.
Dude, yeah, I mean, it would be nice to have a fancy phone, but I own this one. I don't pay a goddamn thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, of course, I bought my daughter the nice phone, and I've got the one that fits in my...
Well, as a parent, you spoil the kids and not yourself.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what it is. It's like, I don't really, we could have both got one. I don't want that thing, you know what I mean? Like, I said, this one's small enough. It's break it, because I'm always on a job site doing something stupid. So it's like, if I were to break it or lose it in the goddamn lake, which I've done before, it's like, go get another one. It's $200, who cares?
Well, it doesn't do anything more, and it doesn't do a whole lot of it better.
Not really, you know what I mean? It does the same shit. It does what I need it to do anyway, so I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm not doing TikTok, so shit.
Well, even then, you still could. If you wanted to go on eBay, you can go on eBay. If you want to take pictures, you can take pictures. If you want to look at dirty stuff, you can look at dirty stuff. It does all the things you need it to.
Exactly. And so I'm like, how fucking, there's certain things I do splurge on, but at the same time, like, so with the phone, I don't understand these people. The iPhone 16 was fucking $1,200. What, for what?
Yeah, for what? Exactly.
For what?
What's the saying? Spend the most money on things that you spend the most time on between you and the ground. Shoes, like the shoes you walk in all day, right? The bed you sleep in all night, the car you drive, the seat that you sit in all day, like shit like that. The things that you spend the most time with, invest the most in. But like, what? Don't get me wrong. I spend a lot of time on my phone. I fuck around. I doom scroll. But I don't need to spend an extra $1,000 just to change this good model in for a air quote better model.
No,
That's chasing the Jones. That's poor people shit.
dude. And I'll be the guy that does have the iPhone 16, but in 5 years when it's on the fucking clear shelf.
Yeah, right. Once Shannon's done with it.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I don't need this thing. Like I said, this thing's good enough. And I do like this one because the last phone, the one that went to the bottom of the lake, and I replaced it with this one. And this is the third gen of that same exact phone. I had the first gen, the second gen, and now the third gen. I'm like, oh, cool, it's the same thing, and it does wireless charging. Even better, gives a fuck. Oh, look at me. I'm up there with you people. Give a shit. I don't know. And like he said, between you and the ground, your mattress, man, it's a third of your life. Spend the money.
Dude, for fucking real though, like I got a new mattress 2 months ago at this point, maybe, right? I think it happened the same time I got on a new medication. So between the mattress and the medication, holy shit, it made the biggest differences. Like, not waking up less rested in the morning. Like, that's been one of the biggest changes.
Yeah, I'm on the mattress hunt these days. I think my 12-inch memory foam is it's time to retire it.
So one of the weirdest things, and I did not realize this until just 2-3 weeks ago, as a bigger guy, I actually prefer a firmer mattress because my belly's so goddamn big at this point. It sinks in hard, like bigger.
Dude, so I mean, I'm not a bigger guy, but I prefer harder mattress.
Just in the crotch area, you big dong slinger.
Motherfucker, whoa! But I don't like a soft mattress at all. Like, dude, if I could just sleep on the floor and consider that my bed, I would do it. But like, I have this expensive bed set, so why would I sleep in it? But I don't really care for the softness. You know what I mean? That's the old ladies, not me, man. I could be like, yep, this 2x4, that's good enough.
My next thing, I want to get one of those 8 Sleep. Yo, hashtag want to fucking sponsor hard. Dude, okay. Imagine a heated blanket. You know how it's got those wires back and forth and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now imagine those wires are tubes. And those tubes all meet up with this unit that's external. It is so your blanket, except it's not a blanket, it's a mattress cover. So this mattress cover's got all these tubes, and it goes to the external unit sitting by your bedside. Now that motherfucker cools the water, or heats it, and it pushes it through all the tubes. So you can have this thing set at 55 degrees Fahrenheit. So it pushes 55 degrees water through the thing you're sleeping on top of. Oh, dude, I've done it one time in like a test thing, just like laying down in a store. Oh my dear sweet God. It's like granite that never gets warm.
Wait, so this is something that you saw at a place?
Yeah, they sell it. Like you can go online. It's like $2,000. Yeah,
What's
no
it called?
kidding. 8 Sleep. 8 Sleep. Yeah, the number 8 and sleep. This is, like, no joke, the most premier thing when it comes to going to sleep. As someone who, like, again, if it were not for drugs, I would not have ever slept more than 6 hours. Full stop. Like, that's just, as someone who can remember as far as I can, I've had horrible sleep problems, and 8 sleep, honestly, like, I've looked into this over and over and over, and this shit, like, I'm excited just talking about it, and there's no way they would ever fucking sponsor this channel. Hashtag would love to, but
would love to. I'm Googling it right now on my other phone.
Oh, dude. Every single review, they're like, this is expensive, but there is nothing like this. It is I mean, my dad has heated floors in his bathroom. Like, I helped him install exactly the same thing, but for heating only his floors in the bathroom. This shit, it goes from 55, and I want to say to like 100? Like, something absolutely ridiculous.
Too much. 55 sounds good. I'm actually, I put in a 3-way just in case, because I'm, in the middle of redoing my upstairs bathroom. And just in case, I haven't decided if I want to yet or not, but if I want to go heated floors, I put in a 3-way just in case.
Dude, I gotta say, like, it is one of the most luxurious things that I have ever, like, interacted with on an extended period. It's heated floors for, again, it's a double-wide trailer that, like, they turned into a real house, like a real house. So he's got 12-inch by 12-inch ceramic tiles for his floor. Like, it ain't bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Heated floor for the bathroom that includes the shower. Yeah, so not only when you're taking a dump, you got heated feeties, but when you're taking a shower, dude, it is, I cannot explain the amount of relaxation. Yeah, that's some next level, like, the hashtag goals. Also, I think I might be getting my dad's house when he dies.
Nice.
Well, we got drunk the other night when I went down for Easter, and we were talking about it. He's like, honestly, I'm kind of glad we had this conversation, because neither Jen or Will were interested at all in owning this property, and there's no way I would give it to Linda's fucking kids. Honestly, like,
she's right there.
Well, like, really, though, her kids are 20 years older than me.
Yeah.
So, like, anybody from one generation younger than the two owners, I am one of 5 people who have had any interest. And legitimately, I would probably move back to Connecticut if I inherited his fucking property.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a pretty easy thing. Like, don't get me wrong, I had a great situation going on here and all that stuff. But if I can turn my rent from what I pay now to notably less and owning the property, living there, like, this is my dude. Yeah, there would be losses, but there would be far more gains.
I mean, I would have to agree, because I mean, it's not a small property.
No,
I think
it's 3.4 acres.
Right, but
where he lives,
up for survival.
Yeah, where he lives, that is not a small amount of property.
Yeah, I mean, most people don't have more than 2 acres even. It's like my parents in Mansfield. They want to get the house appraised, and it's a beautiful house, but they're like, well, we don't really have anything in the area to compare it to because nobody has this much land.
Right? Yeah, because there's nobody as rich as us around here.
Yeah, they're like, everybody else is a little broker than you guys. If you don't mind, let's not make them look even worse.
I mean, we're gonna fuck everybody's taxes if we get our house appraised.
Yeah, exactly. God damn it, they did it again.
So I took a fundraiser, and everybody in the town paid us $56,000.
Yeah, wild. Win.
God damn it, Uncle Raji.
I'm like, why would you even want to do that anyway? Just, they're already going to charge you more in taxes regardless, just because they do their own appraisals
it's
here
like
and there.
Slow, but like guaranteed gentrification of the area.
Right, you know what I mean?
Like, after the mill shut down, like, a whole bunch of other, like, the the population that was able to rent and own houses changed a lot because the economy changed. And now, after everything has shut down, as far as like the mills 50 fucking years ago, now everything's changing again because it's going from Section 8 housing to people who are able to own and pass on generational wealth. So like it's just doing a weird thing around the area you live in.
It's always been fucking weird too. But whatever, the values of the houses continue to go up. The taxes continue to go up. I didn't ask you to raise the value of my house. I'm not moving anytime soon.
It's one of the weirdest like guarantees. We don't talk. We talk sometimes, on the channel here about finances and all that shit. But I think one of the most interesting things is owning land, like physical property. And we don't talk about that a whole lot here. It just...
Well, we don't. Well, we touch on it here and there, but we don't touch on it enough. We did chit-chat about, you looking at a couple of, camping plots, if you will.
Well, it's funny because Marky turned me on to it, and he's looking at triple-digit acreage.
Nice. Good for him.
Well, yeah, and like when he's lived with me a couple of times. No kidding. I don't know if we ever talked about that. He's lived with me here a couple of times. And we've talked extensively about like owning large tracts of acreage and some of the benefits, detriments, and stuff like that. And now that he's making very good money, bless up and all that, he's made some. He's taken some risks, and they've paid off incredibly well. And now that's becoming more and more of a reality for him, and by proxy, me. Because, offhandedly, hey, Pat, would you ever move to Wyoming if I owned 350 acres?
Yeah.
Well, tell me more.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. Continue.
Yeah, like, what are we doing? Like, hey, how much meth you want to make?
Oh, is that what we're doing? Yeah, I'm definitely in.
I mean, it's interesting having these options, and that's, again, one of the reasons why I've tailored my life to the way I have. Not being... I don't have a lot of things that bind me to one place or another. At this point, the few things I have here are just higher caliber. Right? So you just got to tempt me better. It doesn't have to be a lot of stuff, just good.
Exactly. Yeah, if you had kids in the system and shit like that, it'd be different, but...
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to get... Even now, hashtag right now, and then I would absolutely love to have gotten my Vietnamese wife pregnant. That sounds like a great thing to do. Honestly, that sounds sarcastic, but no, I am really fucking into that idea. Now, that's not how things worked out. Totally fine. And that's why I live the life I do. Now, in the future, maybe I own 1,000 acres, Montana, Wyoming, Ohio area. And I got a whole harem of Vietnamese wives. Who knows? Make sure you subscribe. That way you can stay tuned to Pat's harem.
Yes, and we'll find out more on the next episode of Pat and Rich Talking Shit.
Bye!